MeatCanyon is a parody channel unlike any other. Their videos are fast to produce, sustain great viewership even with their original cartoons, and can still be profitable in today's YouTube climate. And in this video, I, Daft Peanut, will be taking a deep dive into the man and team behind MeatCanyon in order to show you there are many ways to be a successful animator on the platform instead of becoming another storytime animator. But what isn't another wallet is Ridge Wallet. It's light, sleek, industrial, and overall snazzy. I've worked with them before and even still use their wallet to this day, and even tomorrow. I don't like carrying around cash, so having this non-folding small pieces of metal in my pocket is actually quite nice. It holds up to 12 cards, plus you can have a money clip or a money slip to hold your cold hard cash, and even your hot cash. And using coupon code DAFTPEANUT, you can get 10% off your entire order. Just in time for Father's Day, your dad will like this wallet or any other of these fine products. Like this knife. Get it for your mom, dad, yourself, your friend, or anyone else in your life that needs an RFID plugging wallet to hold your cards. And along with your wallet, I hope you're holding on to your horses, as before we take down the trip of finding out who MeatCanyon is, we need to take a trip down Parody Lane to better understand what it is. Take it away, Tonico, and tell us this fact dump.
At the very dawn of film, parody stuck beside the serious business of these fine moving pictures. As all the way back in 1903, The Great Train Robbery got a parody 2 years later called The Little Train Robbery. Also funny to mention that both films were made by the same director. Sorta like how Uwe Boll made Blood Rain, and also Blubberella, a scene-for-scene comedy remake that wasn't really a comedy, nor should have it been remade. Rewinding the VHS tape that is history, you won't see too many parodies within the film and television media that isn't, say, a one-off episode or even Who Gets to Meet Scrooge Today. No, we're talking about the pure properties that only exist to make fun of the original, like 1965's Weston Soda, an Italian animated film that parodies westerns of the time. But if Lonesome Cow People aren't your thing, you might be interested in shows such as VIP and Banana Man, both of which take the superhero genre and adding a comedic twist. Well, more so than it was already back then. Also, Who Framed Roger Rabbit existed, but that's enough talk about celluloid sweatshops as the 90s gave us the internet. Anyway, before Adobe Animate came, Macromedia Flash, and for the brief time, Future Wave, the program this 1996 Simpsons Flash website was made with. Oh Bart, you're not looking so good. But going back a year, Newgrounds came to life, giving us such Disney Vault classics such as 1999's Teletubby Funland, an online Flash parody so offensive, the BBC network tried to take it down. Whatever could be so offensive about the site? Of course, with the internet, those meddling companies had their own turn at cartoon parody, with the likes of Behind the Music That Sucks and to an even lesser extent, The Critic. But luckily, Newgrounds, Albino Black Sheep, and later YouTube stayed alive to give those who aren't allowed within 100 feet of the Daily Planet a way to express their feelings about Star Wars, A Phantom Menace. Egoraptor, Oni NG, El Cid, and Harry Partridge are some of the few who started during the early 2000s, with people like Psychic Pebbles, Flash Gits, and those Minecraft animation songs filling in for some of the early 2010s animation cravings I like to eat at night. However, all wasn't drawn smiles and painted backgrounds as in 2014. Rubber Ninja made a video about the state of animation on YouTube where he airs his thoughts on the matter. During this time, the mystical algorithm favored longer videos, so Let's Plays were the rise back then. Of course, that video is close to 6 years old, and the likes of Storytime channels about 2 years later provided independent animation does have a place on the YouTube platform. Rather, it just has to adapt with the times. Sorta like today's subject, who is doing something completely different than those Storytime animators. In 2020, this YouTube channel is able to produce several cartoons per month, gain a dedicated viewership, and even afford to pay his small staff. From the late 1990s Teletubby fun to today, Hunter Hancock is able to keep the spirit of parody alive with his funny Todd McFarlane-inspired cartoons. But that's enough of the history of parody. I'll give this back to Daft Peanut so he can delve more into the canyon himself, MeatCanyon.
Sasuke, you can't run away from your problems.
Looking like a double-wide surprise.
They are all a part of something far greater.
Or that you just activated my choke trap.
You still haven't tried your Big Mac.
Zoinks!
What have I done?
One of the things that I love about Meatcanyon's animations is the unsettlingness. How unsettling it is.
Inspired by the likes of Oni and G, Psychic Peoples, and even Speedo Sausage, Hunter always wanted to create animations online. Oh, and don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the segment, as you get to see what I'm drawing over here. Moving right along into this fact, Hunter attended the Kansas Art Institute, the same one Walt Disney went to and was kicked out of, but unlike whatever happened to him, Hunter became successful with a bachelor's degree in 2016. And shortly after that, he worked a bit at a small studio in New York, where he met L Cartoons. And he also did some freelance work for Mammoth Vision. But having a passion to make his own works, Hunter created his first channel in 2015, called Meatcanyon. Posting here and there by himself was really in 2019 where he got his footing, and a cult following. Mainly for his parody series, along with his more original works, including Monster Lab, Day Drinkin', Jamal and Rachel, Lord S. Pookie in 1880.
My buttery fingers got me slipping all over my gun.
You see, what sets Hunter apart from, say, The Odd Ones Out is his openness to risk. Now, of course, the success of James is immense, but he's had a recent string of lateral moves in terms of brand expansion.
So I'm making another card game and going to make it bigger and better than the first one.
Wow. Well, hey, look, we're more than happy to announce that. If you don't mind me saying that, we could be...
Often when channels reach a certain point in subscribers, the channel dips their toe in new ideas to expand their creative endeavors. Which is why I was very intrigued when I talked to Hunter, as he told me about a Kickstarter idea he has for a original series.
I was like, it would be cool if, because there's only been a couple shows that really capture, like, I don't know, like a horror, like monster movie aesthetic, which I think was Ugly Americans is like the only one I can really think of that kind of had that aspect. I was like, it'd be cool to have a scientist or even just like this madman who just makes these monsters for shortcuts in his life. I'm like gonna rebrand that show, and I'm gonna maybe try to do like a Kickstarter or something to do a full season next year, which would be my goal.
Now define a full season. 13 episodes, 10 episodes, 24?
I would say 8 episodes realistically, anywhere from 4 to 6 or 4 to 10 minutes long. But it's an actual series, and it'll be a full season that'll be free on my YouTube that you can watch. I think that would be really cool to accomplish for sure.
Going above and beyond, say, another board game, Hunter is also pursuing a TV series.
I don't think legally I can say the name of the show or who I was like talking to network-wise. All I can say is that the dream of having a show on TV is very real. I mean, it's something that people think about. Even Netflix would be awesome. But the troubles with that is you have to jump through 90 million hoops. You have to be willing to sell a show that you know is never going to be the same from how you pitched it, and you have to be able to wait 2 years basically with no pay while you jump through like all these hoops and get things processed, and then hopefully they give you money to make a pilot, and you have to pray to God that they give you an okay time and it's maybe following a kind of successful show, and then that gets funded for a full season. That's if you're not famous or if you're not like Hollywood famous. If you're Hollywood famous, they'll be like, well, you want to make a show? Yeah, okay. And then it's fine. But as a person that has no Hollywood influence or anything, it's going to be a long uphill battle for sure.
But with all these future ideas going on in Meatcanyon's universe, or the Meatverse that I decided to call it for this video and he can have free of charge, how does he make one of his cartoons? Compared to the likes of standard Storytime animators, they only upload once a month at around 8 minutes, while Hunter is able to upload several shorts in the same time frame. But how is he able to do this?
On Sunday, I always upload on a Sunday whenever I release a video. Like, let's say I release a video in a week. So on Sunday, after it uploads, that day is dedicated to script writing and figuring out a script. If everything goes according to plan, Monday I will record all of the audio and put it into some kind of really rough animatic, like almost chicken scratch, something I can do in 30 minutes. From there, I send that out to my animator, one of my animator friends, when we decide to block out what we're going to work on. And then usually on Monday as well, I will start to rig all of the characters. Tuesday, I just check into basically rough animation, make sure they're going good as well. Make sure to give all of the animatic to my background artist, and he starts getting roughs as well. So basically from Tuesday to Wednesday, it's all roughs, and then Friday and Thursday, I try to get in finished backgrounds to put in to make sure that if I need to mask anything, I can mask that as well. Friday, all of the animation should be done by Friday. If not, we really try to get it done by Saturday morning. From there, I can give it to the audio guy to make sure that all of the finished movement, and so that way, like, all the sound effects are correct, all the timing is correct, and then also if there's any comp work, I can give it to the comp artist either Friday night or Saturday morning, and then Sunday we upload. So it's like a pretty fucking rushed week, but that's just what we've come to expect as of late.
I think it's time to prank Dwight now. Oh.
One of my favorite ones is the editing Eddie. I think it's called Jawbreaker. And the music starts bad. Then you see the characters and like
25 cents. It's all it takes, Kevin.
It's amazing.
What do you mean? Matter of fact, where is everyone today?
They are all a part of something far greater.
So Hunter and his team keeps hard at work pushing out these parodies and original series. However, not everything is drawn smiles and happy backgrounds, as in early 2020, a tragedy happened on his YouTube channel. One of Hunter's most popular cartoons, Wabbit Season, vanished. Now this wasn't a false flagging incident or multiple people disliking the video. No, rather it was Warner Brothers themselves. You see, Google's multi-million-dollar content ID system found his video and claimed it.
I was like, there's like this huge mistake, and I thought it was gonna get fixed because I've had similar stuff happen like this before, and I've just done like the, you like send your claim back to YouTube, and usually they will be like, oh yeah, no, that's wrong. So I sent that out. Within 3 hours, I get an email back, and it said, no, yeah, this is an uploaded episode, and I was like dumbfounded. And this is like when Corona like was at its peak, so I was like, okay, this has to be a bot or something. Like a bot is fucking me over right now. It's still to this day, I still haven't talked to anybody about it from YouTube. I have no connection at all. I've tried to do this, and like it's just done because they've sided with them. So therefore it's done. It's a closed case. And then like 2 weeks ago, I made another tweet because they finally told me what episode it was from. And it was from a 2014 Looney Tunes deal. It was one of the most disheartening things ever. It was such a huge video for my channel. People say stuff like, well, it's not really gone because it's re-uploaded, but I'm like, its home is on my channel. To like see it re-uploaded and stuff is actually really heartbreaking. Yeah, I don't know. And it's a drag, and it's one of those things where it was definitely lightning in a bottle type deal, and there's no way that you could ever predict something would resonate with that people in this time frame. You know what I mean? It was just like the perfect thing, and though I have moved on from it and it's whatever, it's just something where it sucks. It's very sad.
Is that since he was legally claimed by Warner Brothers Entertainment, it is officially canon that Bugs was a struggling rapist all along.
On the opposite side of the spectrum of distaste, Hunter made a video poking fun at tech YouTubers, featuring Linus Tech Tips as the prominent parody. Or, face of the parody. However, as seen in the WAN Show podcast, Linus didn't seem to like it. Now, unlike what happened in 2019 with Serpalo's animation and Aaron voicing his opinion on it, I think it actually might be worse if the person you're parodying is just indifferent about it. No scathing madness here, just indifferent okaying.
Oh, that looks terrifying.
Yeah, it's pretty awful, actually. Yeah, it's a thing. I think it's supposed to be me, and I basically stuff an infant child into a blender, and then I try to power the computer with the infant child juice.
Now, let's see how the specs change.
And scathing mad is what Hunter would be if he didn't have a studio to work in. Unlike whatever I said in the Rebecca video I made, Hunter educated me and gave me insight into why he has an animation studio.
Before that, I worked some freelance, and I worked from home for like a year or so, year and a half. if you can at all, I think it's incredibly valuable to get a space outside of your home that you have to drive to. One, it gets you up in the morning and it gives you a better regular work day to where you can't make your hours just so fucked of like, you know, you're working starting at like 9 p.m. and you're working all through the night. The idea of working from home is very nice whenever that isn't your normal thing, because you're like, oh, I'm comfortable and I can do whatever. But I think you develop a lot of bad habits, and I don't think you can take it as seriously. So like, I'm nervous to do work out of my home again, but it's just a necessity at this point, and it's okay. But if at all possible, even if it's just you, get a nice little studio, and I think you'll see how beneficial it is in time.
We do have a question. I did ask my Patreon people if they have any questions for you.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sniper Nighter said, do you do your art in that style to distinguish yourself from other artists? Because you like the way it looks, or perhaps for all comedic effect?
I think it's a mixture of everything. I mean, it's inspiration for sure of stuff that I love, of like Todd McFarlane comic books, like old Spawn, really creepy detailed skin and texture and stuff. I think also with the style I do with horror at the beginning, and people are starting to catch on now, is it's a good visual representation of making the viewer feel unsettled, of showing something normally and then showing something that's distorted makes people anxious or nervous, and that helps with the comedic and horror aspects of things. And also, yeah, it is just really fun. It's fun and a very good way to loosely draw something and make it feel like it's this grand piece of like art in a weird way.
And I know you're gonna ask this in the comment section, so I'll let Hunter tell you a bit more about what he works with.
I use the Wacom Cintiq 22-inch HD. People complain a lot about the price of it, but I think in terms of tablets, and I mean, if you ever find a tablet that you love or you try and you use, it's like the best investment. I've had this since 2013. This thing's a fucking workhorse. I love it. It's the best purchase I've ever made. And then I just use whatever's the newest edition of Animate, Adobe Animate.
Whew. Now's a good time to wrap up this video. Oh, do you want to see what I drew right here? There it is. Isn't it lovely?
I know it's parodies, but I think Meat has the potential to make his own cartoon, his own creation. I can't wait for more. I don't care if it's a parody, mocking someone. I don't care. I just can't wait for more of his work. I love it.
As soon as I was done with that, I just basically, went to the liquor store, picked up a fifth, and went down the old Domino's and got myself 2 large pies. But hey, that's just me.
Yes, Hunter has a bright future on this platform, as he recently just reached 1 million subscribers, and hearing all of his plans for future ideas, I look forward to what he draws next.
But I honestly think it's just about having fun and like making stuff for yourself and your friends. Just know that you're gonna make a huge pile of shit, and that in that there'll be one gold nugget, and that's how you the process kind of keeps going for a long time. And just know that at first there's just not going to be a lot of views, or people might not see it, but as long as like you're having fun with it, it does get easier. But definitely, as everybody says with art, you just got to practice, got to grind, grind. But then, yeah, that's what I would say.
Speaking of drawing, I got sent the XP Pen 24 Artist Pro, and I'll be talking about it for the rest of this video. Standing tall at about 23.8 inches, unlike most non-Wacom tablets at this size, it actually has a sharp screen due to it being 2K in resolution. With 8,192 pressure levels and 60 degrees of tilt function, you're getting a lot out of this tablet than whatever Wacom's offering at the same specs and size. And I definitely recommend this drawing tablet to anyone who wants to produce more professional works or just likes a big drawing tablet. A tablet in which I've been using for a personal project that will release later this year. Look forward to that. But until then, thank you for watching the video, and special thank you to Hunter, Tonico, and Sir Palo for speaking in the video. As without their speaking, this video probably wouldn't have been made in the way you see it now. Goodly. And a thanks to Quinn Curio for looking over the script. There she is. And a special thanks to my patrons that you can see on screen, And if you want to support my channel, you can either go to my Patreon or my merch store to get some nice things. Also follow me on social medias, and don't forget to have